Lately, a lot of PhD graduates approach me, and they heard, oh, some of their friends got positive result, and some others friends got negative result, and they don't know what to do. And it's really, really important for lots of PhD students. They think they can do it themselves. Surely, you receive the highest education, you should be able to understand. But if you are a PhD graduate or PhD candidate, you know that is something called a specialist. You spend great amount of time doing your area of expertise. And it's just icebergs, it just really, you cannot become expert. You know that. It takes a great amount of time to do that. And for immigration, you have to hire someone who's a specialist as well. You not necessarily need to approach me. You need to ask around, of course. You want to make sure who's actually can help to receive result. In the past, PhD graduates, because it was a time that the department intentionally to give invitations. Because at the time, nobody actually applied. Nobody believed that it's a policy available. So they just, instead of saying, okay, you know what, I'm going to lift up the whole policy. Apply, I'll give you. So requirement time in 2020 and 2019 is really, really easy. I would say we have lots of candidates with permanent visa. And their background, if they approach me, I would say, I'm sorry, just not possible now because of the policy change. And that in 2020, the policy was so easy and so simple. In that case, that lots of candidates, they really, really, because they from us and they got permanent visa. For PhDs, in that time, it's actually fairly easy, I would say. Majority of them, as long as you have some kind of guaranteed project, and then you are likely to achieve PhD in a 6-month time, you can, however, just meet the requirement of the high income threshold. Now that it's not the case. A lot of PhD approach me, and then they said they already rejected. And I said, okay, if you believe in yourself, you do the work, and lots of them really because they did themselves. I really don't help people if they believe in themselves and then just fine, mess up already. Now, if you don't think you're able to meet the requirement, or you have a very strong confidence in that, hiring a professional to do the work, it's not about financial commitment, isn't it? It's really about what you want results, so you can move on your life. You can move on now, figure out something else, buying a new property, for instance, secure bargain or negotiation with your boss, have increase of income, something else to do that. I just don't think you have to really think about and ask around, ask people thinking they can do it themselves. Lots of things you can do themselves. But for immigration, it's quite complex because sometimes it's not what you understand of policy. It's something not revealed to you. The information is not on the immigration website only. This is really about that. Why is that? Because there is a time lag between the policy itself and how much information put online as a marketing material. Most of the time, marketing materials always delayed, and the department always warns you, do not trust whatever we put on website, because this is not the law. The law is actually regulations, regulation, policy, and primary act. So you have to rely on that instead of relying on marketing materials or rely on someone else who told you, oh, I did myself, because you have no idea what their background is. Now, if you're a PhD graduate or about to graduate, I strongly recommend you think about yourself or portfolio. How much likely? We have a candidate who actually studied in medical, and then his supervisor is one of our friends. His supervisor approached us asking, now can you help this student? I had a call with this student. What happened with that? This student later on did themselves and got rejected. So the supervisor could not give him a job anymore because he doesn't have a permanent visa. His supervisor likes him very much. However, he didn't have a permanent visa. And what happened? The supervisor, she had to give the job to someone else's because you can't give a permanent. I do not know. Now, are you able to commit to this? And because you don't have a permanent visa, are you going to back to return your home country? You lose a lot of opportunities, and the professional fee is really minimal considering lots of loss. This is not a smart move. And then really, we thought, oh my God, why they make mistake? Because they are overconfident. They think the supervisor itself really saying, oh, you're great students, you can help a lot, and I'm internationally recognized. You just simply did research in 3 years' time. So you think you're internationally recognized. Think about that. It is really benefits to PhD graduates in Australia. Australian government intentionally to give invitations to this person. So you are not simply thinking about that way. This is far away from it, okay? Just started the research. You are not considered international recognized. It is not by definition. And while we can get permanent visa, is department wants, Australian government want to attract candidates in this area, period. And they want to give the opportunity to onshore candidates. If you're offshore graduate, the requirement for it is completely different. Think about this way, okay? You have to think about human mind, why we're doing this. Okay, do not overconfident. Think about, you know what? I'm simply just hit the form. I'm going to receive invitation. Someone gonna give me lots of my friends. I'm better than lots of them. And sometimes really they're surprised and they're shocked and they hit their level of confidence. They say, oh my God, what's going on? This person is a lot worse than me. And he got permanent visa and I really can't tell anybody because there's shame, a lot of shame on you, right? What? The requirements internationally recognized. Your friend of you got permanent visa and he simply didn't have any publications. He didn't have any publications. Nobody likes his work. And what on earth is that? It hits your level of confidence. Why do you take this risk? Why do you want to take risk? You want to take risk that has return. You want to take risk that's high return. You are risk taking because you know that's a return. If you're taking risk just for the purpose, just trying to save a bit of money, that's stupid, isn't it? So I encourage everybody. Now, I have to tell you, I don't handle a lot of local graduate. But if you see my YouTube, because you search around, I encourage you to find someone else's specialist in this area. We have a lot of our agents who is in Australia have really experience. I encourage you to find them because I actually don't do lots of PhD cases simply because I have a lot of other cases to do, really, isn't it? So for my business strategy, I don't take a lot of PhD graduate cases unless it's really interesting. So, but I encourage you to look, find my colleagues, find Omar page, find that website, have a lot of consultation. Some consultation they are paid, some consultation free, but it's just a search around. Do not attempt to try yourself. If you don't really, if you can't afford to pay a professional service in Australia, Australian government is not liking you. I heard this from Peter himself directly. He said if someone is not able and willing to pay Australian professional to deal with the immigration process, Australia doesn't welcome them anyway, right? So there's no reason why because you suppose you are internationally recognized. You're not, right? It is not by definition. It is really because Australia needs talents now. All right, I hope this will help you. Here's the link below if you have any questions or want a free assessment. Thank you.